Okay, real life. So yeah, this is just another GSoC status meeting. Just a quick update. Yeah, last week we have been accepted to GSoC, and we also started Q&A sessions for students. That's why we don't have so many people on the call today, because yeah, we had one session yesterday, and then we had, I would say, so yeah, we started from the full room and overflow. I would say that we had from 12 to 15 students in total, plus the mentors. So yeah, it's pretty nice. And yeah, this sessions are fixed now. So it's 8 a.m. UTC on Tuesdays. And another session is it's 3 p.m. Yep, 4 p.m. UTC on Wednesdays. So just in 2 hours, and yeah, we will have these sessions till April 9th. Oh, do I share my screen? I guess no. No, I don't share.
No.
So yeah, it explains. Sorry, I was struggling typing on my new Swiss German keyboard. Okay, do you see my screen now?
Yes.
Yeah, so yeah, we started 2 quiz sessions for students. You can see these sessions in Jenkins calendar. Everything is updated, and yeah, I hope they will go well. Then regarding the rest, yeah, we have a blog post. It has been shipped yesterday. No, on Monday we have announcements in the mailing list. We started the announcement with the SIG meetings. It was announced at governance, so it's done. And here we have one biggest action item about mentors reaching out to the audience. And yeah, it's something we ask all mentors to focus on, because yeah, as we discussed before, we need a lot of communications to attract students, to get discussions going, and just to finally get more applications. And as org-admins, we help where we can, but we still rely on mentors to promote their own projects, and also to promote the Jenkins GSoC. So any help here will be much appreciated. If you know, if you are interested, for example, to go to the local university, promote GSoC, there are some slide decks offered by Google Summer of Code. I mean, Google directly offers slide decks. We also have some sample slide decks on the Jenkins side. So it will be much appreciated, needed. What else has changed over last week? You may have seen that there was some activities and projects. We started more Gitter channels. So if you open the list, we have channels for some JSOC projects now. For example, GitHub branch source, it has moved to a separate Gitter channel. Same for Docker, it's for Docker Hub Poland. Then there is a separate channel for machine learning, and yeah, most likely we'll be getting more such channels. So if you as a mentor want to have a dedicated channel, it's something which you can totally do. And the plan B is to actually have to direct to special interest group channels. So if you take a look at project ideas, you may see that some channels just redirect to special interest groups directly. So for example, pipelines documentation generator, it leads directly to pipeline authoring special interest group. And yeah, that's how we try to approach it in general, because you get a bigger audience there. Gitter is a bit slow today. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I believe that's it from me. So yeah, some changes are happening, and there is still a lot of open action items, mostly on me to get the things done. I don't have much updates from my side. So yeah, always these, like creating internal Google Doc for mentors, create internal meetings. They're still in progress, and we will be creating these things. But yeah, generally we started cleaning up this queue. Do we have any action items on others, especially on you, Martin?
Okay, just a minute. Action items.
Yeah, I don't see anything in the list.
I'm double checking the list of mentors who are on the Google group and on the calendar invite, just to make sure we're not missing anyone. I know we are missing Christopher Dancy on the Mentor GSoC Weekly Meetup invitation. So I'll add him, but I'm also checking all the names to make sure.
Okay. You mean mentor mailing list, right?
Yes, mentor mailing list.
Yeah, it would be nice if you add him here. And yeah, I believe that all mentors have already received invitation to the Jenkins GSoC site. So we had, yeah, spent some time on Sunday in order to process the mentor mailing list. I invited maybe 6 missing mentors there, mostly from people who joined recently, and I invited everybody to the application site. Probably I can just screen share it. Oh, I cannot screen share it because yeah, we have people emails there. Thanks GDPR.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm double checking all the lists. The Google group, the calendar invitation, and the registration in the Summer of Code program.
Yep. So if anybody is missing, just let us know. We'll get you added. Because yeah, this year we had a bit more mentors than it used to be before. So yeah, we might be missing something. Okay. So what do we have with regards to our topics? So yeah, last time we had a discussion about the GSoC calendar. What has happened to them? I actually just added all GSoC meetings and also some deadlines to the main calendar. So you may see it doesn't look well here, but you can actually add it to your GSoC calendar. No, I don't want to do that. And then everything looks fine. And all GSoC meetings are there, as well as special interest group meetings, which also act as a GSoC venues for some project ideas. So yeah, I believe this part is resolved. So I will just, so this part is resolved. But the open question is, do we want to have a specific Jenkins.io calendar? So last time we had a discussion with Martin, but I believe that, well, we agreed that we want that. And yeah, I believe this is an action item on me to actually just implement it. So yeah, I guess that's it from me regarding the update. We don't have students on the call, I guess. Oh, we have one student now. So it's we could just spend some time on Q&A, and then if anything is missing, we can just talk about pending project applications and project ideas, and I think what we can do with that. What has happened to that? So does anybody have any questions?
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
So if I'm not wrong, if can students speak in this conference, or is it just only limited to the mentors?
No, it's open office hours.
Okay, sir. So hello, sir. I'm fairly a new contributor to Jenkins, and I'm known by the username Dundin161 in the Gitter chat. Hello.
Yes.
Yes.
So, and I have a couple of questions regarding the GSoC projects. So, first of all, sir, I'm more or less interested in the artifacts promotion GSoC project, and that project does not happen to have a Gitter channel. So, I'm having a really hard time in talking about the projects and how to go about promoting it. So, how do I do that, sir? Because so
And
that is
yeah, I believe you came to the right place because yeah, our approach would be to just create a new channel.
okay.
Yeah, yeah, I'll share my screen again. Okay. So the tricky thing here that yeah, we already have GitHub, Jenkins, CI, promoted bills. Yeah, so what we already have, we have maybe 4 plugins which address promoted builds functionality somehow.
Yes, sir.
And yeah, we create a new plugin. So one of my approaches would be to just create a channel for promoted builds plugin. And another one would be to create a specific channel for GSoC. And to be honest, I lean towards creating a specific channel for GSoC right now.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, do some raw code in Jenkins. Just a second. Add artifact promotion for pipeline. Okay. So what we can do, I can just create
Yes.
the channel right now.
Okay.
If everybody agrees, so we can follow the same template as below. So it would be Jenkins SOC artifact promotion plugin for pipeline. Something like that. Well, it's a bit too long. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So let's just
Okay.
go forward with this chat, and then we can add more people there. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. So, and one more question would be like in that project, the scope of the project is really broad, I think, because it just ranges from REST APIs to core Java to front end development. So, is it necessary that all of these factors should be included in my project proposal, or like I should just concentrate on a certain facet of the project? Like the
Yeah,
scope is really, it's the spectrum is really broad, I guess. So how should I go about that?
yeah. So it's actually written in the project idea. Applicants are welcome to select only some of the items proposed above or to propose their own project ideas.
Okay, yes, sir. So and in this thing, like should I be more focused to like front end development, or should I just go with the like core Java thing? Because I can select anything, right? So according to the document, it says that. So which area should I be focusing more?
Well, the answer is that you tell us. So the idea here
Okay.
that you explore the area,
Okay.
see what would be more interesting to you, and
Okay.
then yeah, come up with this project idea. So we can
Okay.
help you with answering specific questions, but yeah, we cannot say what you need to take. If you're interested in web UIs, it would be one scope of the project. If you're interested in core Java, it would be another scope of the project.
Oh.
Well, theoretically, you can do both, but yeah, it would be pretty big then. You're right.
Okay, so
So
it's up to me to select the thing.
exactly.
Okay. Okay.
So if you
So
have any questions, any details, just reach out in Gitter channel. We will do
okay.
our best to help. But yeah, that's how the project idea is written. We want to offer opportunities to students with different backgrounds.
Okay. So and one last question would be like for just rendering those pull requests before giving those pull requests, like test we need to test it in our local machine, right? So what is the contributing guideline of Jenkins? Like should I be testing all of those PRs or just have a tentative guess that it will work. So is it necessary that I should be testing all of those? Because
Okay. Yeah, I'll briefly show you the answer. So it's written somewhere in guidelines, but okay. So let's go let's take promoted builds plugin again.
uh,
I used to maintain this plugin, so yeah, that's why I use it as an example sometimes. So almost all our plugins have a Jenkins file. So it's a file which defines the build process. In Jenkins, no wonder we have some continuous integration because yeah, well, it's a project about automation, and what oh, I know what. Now there is a maintenance of the Jenkins instance. So probably I won't be able to open it right now. We have a upgrade happening right now. But what you can see here that yeah, actually we have continuous integration for each commit, and the same we have continuous integration for pull requests. And these pull requests are tested, for example, on both Linux and Windows on particular configurations if needed. Again, I won't be able to show it here now, maybe a bit later. But yeah, you can
so
just rely on
okay.
this continuous integration.
So this is the exact PR that I just gave a couple of hours ago. So
Okay.
in this, uh, so this
Mm-hmm.
one. So my last question would be like while submitting my PR, the CI integration of Jenkins it failed because like there was some sort of dilemma between Windows and Linux, and it did not pass for a while. So that is one last hitch that I'm facing. That that the build did not pass just because I was working on a Linux environment,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know because I don't know for some reason it did not work.
Yeah, right. So there may be infrastructure issues sometimes because, well, infrastructure issues happen, or there may be a real defect. So unfortunately, now we cannot investigate that because, well, CI instance is down.
Okay.
But yeah, once it comes back, if you want, we can take a look and can show how to analyze build results. Generally, what is supposed to happen, you can, when your PR build fails, you can navigate to this link and you will see a blue ocean interface which shows you the execution graph and shows where it failed. Sometimes it works, sometimes it's not, but well, that's how it usually happens. So here I just updated the pull request a bit. I request myself as a reviewer. I will probably request the current plugin maintainer here as well. And yeah, I just linked the ticket so we can review that. And on the
Okay.
ticket side, yeah, what we usually do, so if you started working on that, since it's market newbie friendly, it's important that you actually assign it here so you don't confuse other students who may actually want to work on the same issue. Okay, it's better if you self-assign the task. It's perfectly
Okay.
fine, and if you update the status, for example, to that.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yep. So it's just
Thank
a
you.
quick update here so that you see how it works. And yeah, so once we get the okay, I'll try to review this pull request.
Okay.
Mhm.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Any other
I did,
questions?
yeah, I did ask on the infra mailing list regarding that failed pull request,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and it was just a transient problem
Yeah.
with
So
Jenkins.
yeah, I can briefly summarize what we experienced recently because yeah, we had some instability in our CI instance over the last few days. So we had some Windows machines running out of disk space, Windows Docker instances, if I recall correctly. We also had issues with agent provisioning, I believe. But yeah, I believe that the main issue was with out of space on the machines. It should
Okay.
have been fixed by now, but well, that happens sometimes. You have infrastructure channel where you can always ask whether the instance is good. And yeah, there are some discussions about having publicly available monitoring for the instance, but it's not implemented right now. There is a monitoring, but well, it has limited access. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. You're
Okay.
welcome. Any other questions?
No, sir. No, sir.
Mm,
I do have a question regarding the work of one of the potential students on the pull request, Oleg.
yeah.
It's on the configuration as code pull request. I need to pull it up.
Okay. Yeah, if you provide a link, I will screen share, or if you want, you can just screen share on your own.
Okay. I'm just going there right now. Put the link in the Gitter chat.
Okay. So back to the screen share. Okay. So let's go there. Any chats? Okay. So what is the question here?
So if you scroll down, there's a question about the use of the @ symbol annotation. And
right, I missed that. That one is pretty big.
there, yes, you just scroll by it.
Okay.
Move up a little bit. You will see the discussion. I should have shared my screen, but
Oh, this one.
this one.
Okay.
So we're getting conflicting messages here. We don't know what to do.
Okay. And yes, sorry about that. I really missed the notification. Okay. So yeah, let's take a look. So the problem here is actually it's a resolved change, right? So problem here that if you do a symbol in configuration as code, yeah, configuration as code has its own way to automatically resolve symbols. But if you want to have a specific symbol like this, XWS, so the class name, just a second. Do we have a test automation in this pull request? Probably not. Yeah, it was, oh, actually we do, that's cool. Okay, here you may see that the current name is XWS allocate step. So this is what JCast plugin automatically resolved based on the class names. And yeah, what was my comment that maybe instead of that, you would actually want to have just XWS. So that's why I commented like that. But yeah, then there was a comment from Alex, do we necessarily need them? Of course not. So configuration as code plugin is able to resolve the code without symbols. Moreover, if you talk about configuration as code, sometimes it has issues with symbol conflicts. Because if you have two symbols named XWS, it may be unable to resolve the configuration properly. Okay, so let's go further. The documentation abstracts the plugin where symbol comes. Okay. Okay, so yeah, I said that we don't really need that, and we don't really need it. Why I proposed it here, and I should have been more explicit, that it may be nice to change a default name.
And when you change the default name, does it remain under the unclassified section of the YAML?
Yes. So unclassified is a problem with global configurations. Because if you don't define a category by default, it will go to unclassified. Good news is that currently you can update it so that it can go to another category and it would be still compatible with JCask. But yeah, I'm not sure that it's needed as a part of this pull request. It would be nice, but it could be done later. If you want, I can show how to do that, but probably it's rather for a project-specific meeting, so that we spend some time on this code. XWS allocate step. Okay, so something like that. Does it answer your question, Martin?
Yes. So what about the interaction with between get function name and at symbol? Which one would take priority?
So get function name, it is about pipeline step. Yeah, there may be some confusion. Let's take a look at the code. It might be interesting for others actually. So this is a describable step. So you may see that there are two entities. One entity is a step, it's here. Another entity is a descriptor. And in the descriptor, you have get function name. But effectively what it does, it defines the name of the step for XWS step here. So when you say XWS in pipeline, get function name would be used to resolve the step there. But it doesn't apply to global configuration. So the fields here are the global configuration. And it means that this global configuration actually is shared between steps. It's being managed in the Jenkins global configuration, and it has nothing to do with pipeline step name. So although it's mentioned here, it doesn't apply to this class. It applies to this class, XWS step. Is it more clear now?
Yes.
Yeah, and that's why I was a bit concerned about the name, because it's called XWS step in GCask, but effectively it will be using this template. And again, it's not really linked to the step itself. It's rather a global configuration for the step. That's why I said that it might be reasonable to introduce a symbol, but yeah, I failed to explain it in details.
Okay, so the good thing, the preferred way of doing it here would be to introduce a name and the symbol to clarify.
Yeah, so it may be something XWS mapping or XWS templates. Actually, I'll just comment in the pull request. Yeah, this one.
Probably EXWS config, because templates is a separate thing in the EXWS.
Okay. I lost this one. Oh, right. The wrong pull request. Yeah, it will be great to get it blended, because it's a pretty big chunk of work. It's not so long in terms of code, but it's not a trivial patch.
I think we'll be able to resolve, to conclude this pull request with this additional information. So,
okay. Yeah, it would be really great.
Yes.
Yeah, that guy is really big. Okay. Is it wrong? Yeah, yeah. I'm just missing the right line, but yeah. Okay, so okay, we can close it in such way then.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else I can help with that?
That's it for that pull request.
Okay, so good luck with merging that. Yeah, so if others on the call, if you feel it's not comfortable for you to have a discussion in such way, I mean, ad hoc Q&A, just let us know and we can update the agenda so that we would take it offline or maybe leave it to the end of the call.
Okay, so yeah, hi everyone, I am Nisarg, and I just want to discuss one thing about the Build Discarder project. Yeah, so actually, in the current stage of the Build Discarder, it's that it is not able to delete the external workspaces or the builds of the external workspaces created by the external workspace manager, right?
Correct.
Yeah,
Yes.
so actually, I was just looking over the code base, and I have also shared this doubt on in the GSoC build discarder that Gitter room that the log rotator is calling the delete method, right? Only the run dot delete method, and it's just deleting that build of that run. But
Yes.
when I yeah, so now when I look into the internals of that delete method, it's actually calling the root directory of that file.
You mean the
So
Jenkins code base or what?
yeah, no, I think, can
Yeah,
I share
maybe
my
you want
screen?
to screen share and
Yeah,
show
yes,
what
yes,
exactly
yes,
you mean.
yeah. Screen share. Okay, so is my screen visible? I think.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So in the log rotator, it's just calling r dot delete. So it's just deleting the build of that run.
Yeah.
Okay. So now when I looked into this delete function, it's actually calling the root directory. Okay. So the root directory from which it can just delete that build or the file.
Yeah, right. But just a second, I'll present you to everyone because your screen jumping. Yeah, so get root directory, you retrieve yeah, could you please return back? Okay. So get root directory, you retrieve root directory of the run, which contains
Yeah.
the data.
Yeah.
What happens next? You may see that, for example, it checks with artifact manager. Artifact manager is one of the pluggable storage implementations. And
Yeah.
then
So
it deletes artifacts using Artifact Manager API.
yeah.
And there are
Yes. Yeah.
similar patches, for example, for external logging. This is a pull request to Jenkins code, and they're pending there. So for particular storage implementations, there will be additional calls. And if you need to do anything specific, the results run listener file deleted, which actually invokes run listener endpoints, which we were discussing a few meetings ago. So if you want to do something specific, you can use run listener and you can invoke it as a part of this deletion logic before the root directory gets actually deleted.
Okay. Okay, okay, yeah, I got it. So actually, what my concern was that, like, while means calling the same delete method in the external workspace manager, won't be feasible. We have to define a new delete method which will get the root directory of that external workspace, and by the data of that root directory, we can just delete the that data of that build.
Exactly.
So yeah, so what yeah, so I have actually written the the project proposal, like somewhat of them. So yeah, so what I want to just say that, like, first of all, the delete method will be implemented in which root directory of that build, which build is running, that will be fetched, and after that the logic of deleting will be given, and then the user will just uh, give the filter values, like for how many days and for how many bills they want to keep their bills and the artifacts, and then okay, yeah, and then the methods of the advanced build discarder which were made there will be just called, and after that the new delete method will be called, and this will just delete the builds in the external workspace manager.
Yes.
And for this, I am proposing that the data structures used can be list or vector, any of that, because both are likely to be same for fetching data and storing data.
So what's the question then?
Yeah, so like I just want to share my implementation. So like if means there is any improvement can be done in this, or or any more specific thing which I should include in this proposal in this second point, or something like that.
Well, I believe that the main question to you here is, well, if you integrate with external workspace manager, how would it actually work? For example, if there is a storage in AWS, let's say so,
Okay.
what would you invoke on the external workspace manager side? Which additional APIs you need from, let's say, external workspace manager plugin or whatever in order to invoke it properly? Because if you if you plan to directly integrate your build discarder with external workspace manager, this is the
Yeah.
questions you need to answer. If standard Jenkins APIs are enough for you, then for you, external workspace manager is just one of the implementations. So main question you need to ask yourself is what actually you want to do. If you want to have a specific implementation for external workspace manager, then it's one approach. If you just want to use generic Jenkins APIs, then it would look like quite different.
Okay, so like that last sentence wasn't clear to me. So so can you just repeat that? What were you saying, that what were the two approaches you just mentioned right now? Can you just repeat that,
Okay,
please?
one approach is that you create a new plugin, advanced build
Okay.
discarder plugin. It takes
Yeah. Okay.
dependency on external workspace manager plugin, and then
Okay.
it does specific interactions with external workspace manager plugin APIs in order to
Okay.
correctly release workspaces. In such
Okay.
case, you will need additional APIs on the external workspace manager plugin, and you will also need to invoke logic from your plugin. This is one of the
O-
approach. Yes.
Okay.
Another approach is you just rely on external workspace manager plugin, which would
Okay.
implement run listener and which would be able to deprovision workspaces on its own when it's invoked. But in such
Okay.
case, you need to somehow ensure that actually it happens on external workspace manager. If you create this card builds created by external workspace manager as a part of your project proposal. So the
Okay.
implementations will be different, and well, it would be your task to explore opportunities and choose what you want. Uh, and yeah, you can just do such research and put it as an appendix of your project proposal, so that mentors who review your project can see why you chose this way, and yeah, it will be a good addition.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. So I'll just just compare the approaches possibly, and I'll just choose the uh, implementation which can be more feasible and can be more fast.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So and like I just want to ask that are the points which I mentioned in this proposal. So I think I just only need to add that how would the advanced build discarder get integrated with the external workspace manager. All the other things are all the other points have been mentioned here, right?
Hmm. Yeah, I'm a bit confused because it's what we discussed before.
Okay.
And
Uh,
Martin,
yeah.
did you get the question?
I'm not sure I understand the question. I think two things were
Yeah.
said. One was a
Oh,
question, one was a statement, so I'm not sure.
okay. Sorry. Yeah. So, I just want to confirm that the points which I have mentioned here are a part of the implementation. So, only one point which I need to add here is that how the external workspace manager would be integrated with the advanced build discarder. All the rest of the implementation points written here are correct or not?
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, I think
yeah.
that it's something we should take offline because in order to answer this question, maybe mentors need to review the proposal. I still didn't get to that.
Okay, yeah, sure. And like I have also prepared an implementation part of the feature of product of the production feature and the original, which the build discarder will be having logic and the flow and the
Mhm.
UI design. So I'll just want to discuss these all points whenever it's feasible.
Yeah, so let's approach that. So there are multiple mentors in this project. Let's
Yeah,
try
yeah.
to
So
review this project idea this week, and maybe next week or in 2 weeks when people have time, let's schedule something up specifically about this project. Because
yeah,
it's hard to comment now because yeah, the proposal needs to be reviewed first.
yeah. Okay, sure, no problem.
Yeah, so yeah, sometimes it takes time because mentors have
Yeah, yeah,
many
yeah,
things on
yeah.
their plate and yeah, it may be delayed.
Yeah, I understand. And I just want to confirm that. So now we are having three meetings in a week, right? One on Tuesday and two on Wednesdays, or only one on Tuesday and one on Wednesday. I thought that the regular meeting time of the this meeting was uh, now not only one meeting on Tuesday and one meeting on Wednesday, or one meeting on Tuesdays and two meetings on Wednesday.
Yeah, so we still keep these office hours, but it's mostly
Okay,
to sync up about project with mentors, with org admins, and with other people
okay,
who are interested.
oh,
For Q&A by students, yeah, we created two new time slots, and the advice is to use these time slots when it's possible and when it's feasible. So
uh,
yeah, students are still welcome to this meeting, but yeah, my suggestion would be to use specifically created Q&A slots.
yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's not a problem that you come here and ask questions. We will try to answer them, but yeah, once we have these slots established, I would rather prioritize project status here and Q&A at other meetings.
Yeah, okay, yeah, sure. And I'll just add as much as possible in the my that proposal document, and like the mentors can review it by this weekend, so that we can discuss that points in the further meetings in a more specific way.
Yeah, exactly. Okay,
Okay.
so if there is no other questions, I want to speak about the project statuses. We have a few minutes left. So yeah, I'll switch to this topic if you don't mind. Okay, do you see my screen again?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's take a look at our project ideas which we have left. So yeah, we have many project ideas posted here, and, but we still have 2 draft ideas which need to be finalized. And since we have Marky on the call, maybe we could briefly talk about this project idea, just to understand what are the plans, because yeah, the team had a meeting on Monday, I guess. So Marky, if you could briefly summarize what is the current plan regarding this project idea, it would be much appreciated.
Yes. Hello, everybody. We met on excuse me. We met on Monday in regards to this project. We went over sort of the high level, what was the proposal, kind of how we could start putting it all together. We've now set up a weekly meeting, which will take place every Monday. The next steps for this will be, we decided to do 2 things. One was to understand the high level portion of the project. How can we put this together so a student could take it on? And then would there be any sub project for this, such as maybe there would be a TensorFlow aspect to this. We are spending the rest of this week going over some sort of we're spending the rest of this week trying to understand who's done this in the field, and then we are going to meet next week to start assigning sort of tasks to get this sort of moving. That's currently where we are.
Okay, that was great. Yeah, from the organization standpoint, what we are interested in is to actually transition this project to the published state. But yeah, it's not a time pressure. So if it takes 1 or 2 weeks more, it's okay, especially since there is an active discussion. So yeah, the ask here would be to also get students involved into this discussion. We had few students reaching out to us about this project in chats and in the mailing list. So if you could get them added to the new Gitter channel, and if you also could start discussing things there where possible, it would be great. So yeah.
Yeah, I will go ahead and get that taken care of today. I'm also going to do some cleanup to the proposal document this morning.
Yeah.
And then I will have
the required permissions.
I believe everybody has the permissions. They should.
Well, no, according to this. So you have permissions to comment. You don't have permissions to edit.
Let me go ahead and change that real quick.
Well, you cannot change that because you don't have permissions.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were. I apologize. I thought you were showing the document that I created. We have a separate document.
All right.
Our meeting document.
Yeah. So regarding this one, yeah, I believe we agreed that Ioannis will be also the second champion, right?
Correct. Can you add me to the edit permissions for this? I apologize.
Yes. So we also need to add Ioannis, but I'm not sure what is his email. I mean, Gmail one.
Yeah. Once you give me the rights, I'll
Okay.
add
Yeah,
them on.
so you can do the rest. Okay. Done.
Thank you.
Okay. So yeah.
And that's all for me.
Okay, that's fine, and thanks a lot. So yeah, it's great to see that this project is moving forward. Let's try to get students for that. Yeah, the second project idea which we still have in the draft state is about configuration code coverage API improvements. But I believe that we could actually publish that because the reason why it was in the draft state is because there were open comments here. And now these comments should be addressed. So, assuming that my network works at all nowadays. Yeah, I think that actually it's... Yeah, everything is clear, so we could probably just integrate it. Okay, so I think we could just publish this project IDs if nobody is against.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. So I'll just add an action item. Okay. Sounds like a plan. Anything else we need to discuss right now?
I don't have anything else.
Yeah, so we have another meeting in 1 hour. I'm not sure how many people we will have on this call, but yeah, let's see.
Yes, I plan to join.
Okay. Yeah, I'll also join.
Me too. Yeah, me too.
Okay. So see you there, and yeah, if you, Martin, have a chance, Nisar's proposal before the next meeting, maybe we could facilitate the things a bit.
Yeah, that's my plan, was to review it today.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good day, evening.
Okay,
Thanks.
Right.
thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye.